How the Caliph Became a Stork. The Stork. Caliph. Once upon a time, in the grand city of Baghdad, under the golden sun and gentle breeze, the wise and kind Caliph Rashid sat peacefully in his resting chamber. That day, the sky was bright, the gardens were fragrant, and a calm stillness hung in the air. While sipping a cup of rose tea, his grand vizier entered the room with a spark of excitement in his eyes. "Your Majesty," he said, bowing respectfully, "a mysterious street merchant has arrived at the palace gates. He claims to possess rare and magical objects. I believe they may be of interest to you." Intrigued, Caliph Rashid nodded. "Invite him in. Let us see what treasures he carries." Moments later, the merchant entered, carrying a worn leather bag filled with glittering items. He presented pearls that shimmered like moonlight, golden goblets adorned with emeralds, silver combs carved with delicate birds, and even jeweled pistols. The Caliph selected a few gifts, one for himself, one for his loyal vizier, and one for the vizier's kind-hearted wife. As the merchant reached the bottom of his bag, he pulled out a small, dusty wooden box. Inside it lay a rolled parchment inscribed with strange letters and a tiny pouch of black powder. Neither the Caliph nor the vizier could understand the symbols. Curious, the Caliph purchased the box and dismissed the merchant. "Perhaps Selim, the scholar, could decipher this writing," suggested the vizier. Selim, a humble and wise man, was summoned at once. After carefully examining the scroll, he bowed and read aloud, "Peace be upon you. Whosoever inhales the black powder and speaks the word mutabor shall be transformed into an animal of their choosing and shall understand the speech of all creatures. But beware, if the word is forgotten, the spell cannot be undone." The Caliph, both amazed and amused, gifted Selim a fine robe for his service and made him promise to reveal the secret to no one. The next morning, with the sun still low in the sky, Caliph Rashid and his vizier set off from the palace gardens, the wooden box carefully packed in the Caliph's satchel. Nervous excitement fluttered in their hearts. "Perhaps we could try becoming storks," the vizier suggested as they neared a lake. "Storks? Yes, they always seem to be deep in conversation. Let's discover what they're saying." "A wonderful idea," the Caliph agreed. With a deep breath, each man took a pinch of the powder, whispered the word mutabor, and in an instant, their forms changed. Feathers replaced robes, wings stretched from their sides, and long beaks curved gently from their faces. As storks, they approached the lake where other storks stood, preening their feathers. "May I offer you a plump frog leg for breakfast, dear lady?" one stork said politely. "Thank you, but I must decline," replied the lady stork. "I have a dance performance tonight for my father's guests and must rehearse." She spread her wings and began to dance with graceful steps along the shore. The Caliph and vizier, enchanted by the sight, laughed so joyfully that their wings shook. But amid their laughter, something terrible happened. They forgot the word. Try as they might, they could not remember the magical word that would return them to their human forms. Panic set in. No one would believe that two storks were once the rulers of Baghdad. They could not return to the palace, and so, day after day, they flew over the city, watching from above, hoping for a miracle. One afternoon, as they rested atop the palace roof, they heard drums and horns from below. A grand procession was marching through the city. At its center rode a proud man in a cloak of crimson and gold. "That man is Halil Misra," cried the Caliph, "the son of the wicked sorcerer Kashmir, my sworn enemy." Realizing something dark was afoot, the storks soared into the sky and flew toward the desert. They traveled far until they came upon the ruins of an ancient castle. There, as night fell, they met a sorrowful owl who perched upon a broken wall. "Are you travelers or cursed, as I am?" asked the owl in a soft voice. The Caliph and Vizier told their tale. "I was once a princess in India," the owl said sadly. "The same evil magician who helped Halil turned me into this creature. But I know their secrets. If you promise me one thing, I shall help you." "What is your request?" asked the Caliph. "If you are restored, one of you must promise to marry me and break my curse." Without hesitation, the Caliph gave his word. That night, the ruins filled with whispers. Hidden in the shadows, the Caliph and Vizier watched as cloaked figures arrived. Among them was the very same merchant who had sold them the box. As the magician spoke of his triumphs, the Caliph's mind sparked. Mutabor, he suddenly remembered. In that very instant, both he and the Vizier returned to their human forms. Their hearts swelled with relief and joy. Behind them stood a radiant young woman, smiling. "Have you forgotten your owl already?" she asked with a soft laugh. The Caliph, moved by her kindness and beauty, kept his promise. He brought her back to Baghdad as his bride. The evil magician was captured and banished forever to the dark ruins he once used. His son, Halil Misra, was turned into a stork and placed in the palace garden, where he could do no harm. The Caliph and his princess were wed in a celebration so grand that poets sang of it for generations. And so, they lived in peace, ruling with wisdom, love, and laughter. Moral of the story: always stay alert in the presence of strangers, and never let pride or curiosity cloud your memory, for a single forgotten word can change everything.